Hello warriors, back for another art lesson with Miss Adams. I'm so happy to be able to draw with you guys again. We have left the farm and we are going back in time, way back in time. We are going to start a dinosaur unit, which I thought would be kind of fun to draw together. And so today we are going to draw a Brachiosaurus. You guys have all seen this long neck dinosaur. So that's where we're going to start today with our dinosaur unit. Go ahead today, guys, since he's obviously very long-necked. I want your paper up and down tall. And we are going to do sort of a different view of our cute Brachiosaurus. We are going to do, it's sort of like he's sort of a three-quarter view. He's not all the way to the side. He's not totally looking at us. He's sort of halfway in between that. So it's a different view. If it looks a little weird at first, guys, it's going to. Don't worry about it. It really doesn't make sense till the very last part when we add the tail, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I see how it looks that way. So please don't worry if he looks weird at first. Go ahead and get your art supplies. And of course, we're gonna start pretty far up at the top of our paper so we have room for that nice long neck. You guys, with dinosaurs, they were huge, right? If your dinosaurs are having a hard time fitting on your paper throughout this unit, mine probably will too. I'm guessing Miss Adams is gonna have to add some more paper on, just like sometimes I do, to fit it all on. Please don't worry if yours has a problem being all on the paper. It's no big deal, okay? But we are gonna try. We're gonna start at the top for our Brachiosaurus's eye, and we're gonna make it very small. You want very, very small. So I'm gonna look at the top where I want his eye, and I'm just gonna make a little curve line for the top of the eye. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make a little curve line underneath for the bottom part. And it's nice and small, we'll just fill that in. It's so far away, you might not even see a white spot in it. It's no big deal, it's very far away. So if you want it all the way black, this time the reflection will be so tiny, you wouldn't even see it, but you can leave a little reflection if you want. Then above that, there's like a little eye ridge with a curve line. And then they have these bumps on the top of their heads, this curve line for the top of his head. So over the eye, I'm gonna make that top of his head, and it's a little bit more of a bump. So it's not a smooth curve line that just barely goes over like our other lizard that we've drawn. We're gonna go ahead and make it bump up more and then down in front of the eye. And then we're gonna go ahead and make the end of his nose, we're gonna make a little curve line that comes down. So I'm just gonna make this curve down, and it's gonna curve back for his mouth and kind of stop underneath his eye. This is where you'd see maybe a couple tiny, tiny little dots for nostrils. Again, it's so far away, you might not even see those dots. It's up to you, but if you wanna add those dots, you sure can. Then for the bottom part of his mouth, not at the very end, we're gonna come back just a tiny ways. I'm gonna keep it really pretty skinny next to the mouth, and it's just gonna be a curve line that curves back and it starts to curve up. It's not gonna touch this line, but it gets kind of close to this line. So I'm gonna make a curve line that comes back, and it's gonna start to curve up and stop. See how it doesn't touch? Now for their very long necks. I bet you guys know why they had those long necks, right? To reach the high, high, high leaves off of trees to eat. They were herbivores, so they did not eat meat. They ate mostly just tree leaves. And so we're gonna go ahead and make him with his long neck so he can reach those tall trees. We're gonna start not at the end of the jaw, but over just a little ways, and I'm gonna make a curve line for his neck for however long you want the neck to be. So I'm gonna start here and make a curve line that comes down. And then back here, I'm gonna curve it and double it on this side. So I'm gonna come back here at the back of the head, and I'm just gonna follow that curve line down for the other side of his neck. See how it's nice? It's pretty thick. It's not really skinny like a flamingo's. You know, there's lots of muscles in that neck to hold it up. He's so huge. So you don't wanna get it real skinny like a snake, okay? It's nice, it's pretty thick. So we're gonna go ahead now, guys, and this is where it might start to get weird. We're gonna show his body in that three-quarter view. So I've got his neck right here. Now I'm gonna make it come down on this side just a little further and start to slant back a little ways. So on this side, the side where his face is pointing, I'm gonna go ahead and make it curve down, and it's gonna start to slant back a little ways, okay? For his legs, not at the end of this line, but up a little ways, I'm gonna make this curve line for his first leg. So watch, not at the end of this line, come up a little ways. And I'm gonna make the top part of the first leg. And look, I need to make mine just a little longer to touch. If you need to make yours longer to touch, go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna come back, decide how wide you want his legs. Now, of course, you guys, these animals weighed thousands of pounds, not hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds. So they don't have scrawny little pencil legs. They break them, right? They just fall right over. They have nice, big, thick legs. Like we've drawn an elephant before, big, thick, strong legs to hold up that huge body. So we're gonna go ahead and make a nice thick leg, not super skinny, nice and thick. We're gonna go ahead and make another curve line for the top part of that leg. And then for the bottom part, you know, they're about even. We're gonna go ahead and make another curve line that comes down. And it might slightly come in a little bit with where his foot is gonna be. So it slightly comes in, it doesn't have to, but it can. And then for his foot, there's just a slight curve out. They don't have feet sticking out like we do, of course, but there's just a little bit of a curve out for his foot, and then you'll make it touch. Then in front of this leg, we're gonna go ahead and make the other leg, and I'm gonna start about where this leg started. I'm just gonna jump over maybe a little bit higher, and I'm gonna make a little curve. I'm really skinny, and that shows a little bit of a muscle, okay? So I made it really skinny next to it, and then I'm gonna even add another one, really skinny next to that one. And then we're gonna show sort of that knee area. So I'm gonna make another curve line that comes down and come over a little bit shorter. You just barely see the top part of that other leg. Then we're gonna make the bottom part. I'm gonna go ahead and make it curve down and curve down. And if this foot is a little bit higher on the paper than this one, that's okay, it's further away. So we're gonna go ahead and make it touch. Now we're gonna go ahead and show this part of his belly. We're not gonna show a super long line, even though they're long animals, they're huge. Because he's turned slightly, you don't see the full length of his belly, it's gonna look shorter. So I'm gonna stop and jump over. I'm gonna look at this line that touches his leg. I'm gonna stop, jump over, and it's gonna go just a little bit further, and it's gonna start to really curve up. So I'm gonna make it go a little further, but then it's gonna start to curve up, okay? That's for the curve of his belly. Then I'm gonna start the back legs. And we're gonna go ahead and start not at the end of this line, so don't start here, come down. And I'm gonna make another curve for where his knee would be. And we're gonna go ahead and decide how wide we want his leg again. Curve for where his knee would be. And then we're gonna make it down just like the other feet. It might curve in just a little bit for his ankle and then make it touch on the bottom. For his very farthest leg, we're not gonna see as much. We're just gonna go in front. So we've got this leg right here. We're gonna go just a little ways in front, and I'm gonna make it really a little bit more curved because of the way his body's turned. You see a little bit more curve right here, and then come down. It's probably gonna be shorter, and make it curve over and touch. Now, before I forget, they do have kind of big toenails. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make little curve lines. And you might see two, like on this back leg, I might only see one. On these front legs, I might see 2 or 3. So go ahead and make little curve lines for his toenails. And then we're gonna make this all connect. So see how he's got a real slope to his back. They know this because, of course, putting together all the bones, scientists realized that they had this nice curve down for their back. So we're gonna keep his back curved, and this is where you might wanna take your finger and just trace. I'm gonna make this curve line, and look, it's gonna come in and touch. Not at the very top of this line, but down just slightly. So not at the very top of this line, down slightly. I'm gonna keep that curve to it, and I'm just gonna bring it down, and it's going to touch, okay? Now, we're gonna make the tail. In real life, their tails were like almost as long as their body. We're not going to make our tail that long because it's swinging back and we don't see as much. We just see a little bit of it poking out. So, and it looks kind of high because it's further away. It's going to be higher on our paper. We're not going to swing it down like this, even with his feet. We're going to make it higher to make it look like it's further away. It's swinging away. So we're going to start, about where the leg touches his rear right here. We're going to start there. And it's not going to be a super long line, and it's just going to curve over and up. And then, of course, it's thicker, and it gets skinnier as it curves back. So I'm going to start thick, and I'm just going to make it follow, 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 and curve and touch, okay? Now, he kind of makes sense, doesn't he? We're going to show just a few curve lines for his muscles. You could make a curve line down his neck to show some muscle going down his neck and on his legs. You could show a few curve lines here and there to show that dinosaur skin. And then of course, for the background, you can make the horizon line. So I can stop, jump over. You guys are all pros at this. On mine, I even made, some leaves sticking onto the page. I can make a nice big frond that he's eating or some other leaves coming onto the page. I could even show like the side of the tree. You wouldn't see too much of the tree probably, but I could show the side. You could show a sunset, a Jurassic sunset, or a volcano in the background. You could show mountains. So like this artist created one with mountains in the background. So I could just make some mountains far away. You could add clouds, whatever you want. You guys have been so creative with background. I've been thrilled. For the coloring, guys, of course, you can make your dinosaur any color. We don't know exactly what color they were. They were probably, in real life, scientists guess that they were, the browns and the grays, maybe some reddish brown, yellowish brown. But you can do anything that you want for the colors. If you want a pink and purple spotted polka dotted dinosaur, who knows? Maybe there was one, who knows? So you can go ahead and just think about, though, doing some different colors. For you older warriors, I want to see not just a solid color. I want to see a little bit of difference in the skin, and think about your background. And I cannot wait to see your Brachiosaurus. So please remember to take a picture, add it to the attachment so I can see it, okay? I love you all. I hope you're safe, and I will see you next time for another fun dinosaur. Bye, warriors. See ya.